What is good, y'all? Welcome to Let's Cap. Back here for a second day in a row. So hopefully we continue this grind here with the WNBA and the MLB. Yesterday we only talked about the MLB. Today I'm gonna dive into WNBA and then potentially some MLB. We'll see what the view if there's anyone in the comments that want to look at some specific games, but mainly diving into the WNBA. So let's get into it. I don't have too much time today, so about 30 to 40 minutes. So just gonna dive into the WNBA real quick. I'll bring up my screen. All right, we have the moneyballer.com. I'm gonna head over to the WNBA page here. First game up, we have the Sun and the Mystics. We have a baller system looking at the over. And then we have the Mystics in a revenge situation here. 13 points favorite for the Sun at home. Mystics they're missing Shakira Austin and Brittany Sykes. One thing I wanted to bring up with that is Shakira Austin, when she's not on the court, they are minus 18.4 differential on the defensive side of the ball. So we can look towards the offense of Connecticut to really dominate this matchup in a couple of ways. And I'm going to show you from the Moneyballer site what I was looking at because, as far as like where they could dominate. All right. So if we look at some of the efficiency numbers here, you can see obviously their Mystics offensive rating is last in the league. Defensive rating, they're ninth. But again, some of those games included Shakira Austin. Even one of them included Brittany Sykes. And without Brittany Sykes, their defense comes down a little bit as well. You can see the Sun first in defensive rating, fourth in offensive rating there. Pace-wise, total opposites. Pace, without Delle Donne and Natasha Cloud. With this new roster, basically, they've really flipped the switch with how they play as far as pace goes. So they're a little bit quicker this season. If we look at some of the four factors, obviously the efficiency, effective field goal percentages, struggling on the Mystic side, both offensively and defensively. Free throw rate, they're not going to the free throw line a lot, and then they're sending opponents to the free throw line at a high rate. And that's trouble because the Sun get to the free throw line at a pretty high rate compared to the rest of the league, second in the league. If we look at rebounding aspect, not a great offensive rebounding team and probably worse without Shakira Austin as well. And then turnover rate. They turn the ball over at a high rate. They do force a lot of turnovers, but the Sun are top four in taking care of the ball. If we look at some of the scoring aspects, you can see here right away Mystics struggling to score and giving up a lot of points. And the Sun, number one in limiting points. So right away, you could probably look towards a team total under on the Mystic side. Only reason why I would stay away from that is just because the total is already so low, 152.5. That might be the lowest that we've seen so far this season in the W. The only part where we could see the Mystics really kind of take advantage, I guess you would want to say, is on the break, right, in transition. So they're third in the league in fast break points allowed, and then defensively. So and then the Sun, they don't obviously they don't run a lot of fast breaks because of their pace. So that's one piece that might be something that they could limit. Other than that, I don't really see anything else that the Mystics can do defensively at this point. If we look at some of the inside the arc stuff within the paint, field goal percentage and field goal percentage allowed, Mystics 11 and 12. Even in the mid range, field goal percentage allowed in the mid range is 11. So, and you can see here the Sun. This is where they could really do some damage here within the paint. Fourth in attempts, mid range, middle of the pack, but then they're really efficient. Third mid range field goal percentage, and then 3-point defense is where the Mystics are doing pretty well at, as far as efficiency. Fourth in defending above the break, third in defending the corner three. But if you look here, this is not something that the Sun do often anyways, right? 10th in corner three attempts, 9th in above the break three attempts. So a lot of the things that the Mystics can do, the Sun really don't, I guess they don't care for it at all. So Only way I could look here is the Sun. Before Shakira Austin was announced out yesterday, there was an 11.5, and I was able to grab that. It's at 13 now. To be honest, I still think that the Sun can take care of business there. Multiple ways that you can look at it. I would say the Sun team total over, Mystics team total under, or the spread. I mean, whatever you feel comfortable with. I wouldn't be mad taking any one of those three plays there. Next up to, forgot to use the banners. Got to get back into the group. So we got the Liberty and the Sky here. Liberty, this says 6.5, but it's up to 8.5 right now. The last time I looked, 8.5 and 165 total. Couple of situations here to note. Coming off a loss as a favorite for the Sky, that was against the Fever. Ended up losing by 1 point there. But I think the closing line actually was around a pick 'em. And then Liberty in-season revenge. So then they actually lost to the Sky here, 81-90. So definitely some revenge. Definitely a revenge angle look here for the Liberty. If you look from a trend perspective, the Sky have been covering games. And the Liberty not 2-7 against the spread overall. What's the number here? 8.5. So it's kind of moved up to a spot where maybe you kind of look towards the other way here. The Sky at 8.5, and we talk about in the NBA, that 6 to 9 range gets kind of iffy because you don't know if a team's going to start fouling at the end or how teams are going to close out. From a total perspective, first half under looks pretty decent off a loss here. The Sky 3-0 to the under in the first half. Liberty 3-0 to the under in the first half in road games. If we look towards some of the efficiency numbers here, both teams top 5 in defensive rating, both in the bottom 5 in pace. So right there, you could tell an underlook potentially. Offensive rating for the Sky 9, offensive rating for the Liberty first. That should come down a little bit here. I think that the Sky's defense, I like how physical this Sky defense has been all season long. And then also the pace of play as well is a little bit lower. So still looking for that under here. Let's see if we can back it up with a little bit other stuff. Free throw rate allowed. So sending teams to the free throw line. Defensive rebounds. So offensive rebound allowed. They're giving it up. So Liberty is going to have a lot of second chance opportunities, it seems like here. And just full transparency, I didn't bet anything yet today, so I'm kind of live capping it. Haven't even dove deep into any of these. Only thing that I took was yesterday's Mystics 11.5 when I saw Shakira Austin go out, so grabbed it as soon as I could. Liberty here, points off turnovers, second chance points. This goes along with the offensive rebound allowed, right? So I talked about that. They're giving up a lot of second chance points opportunities. So this, from a prop perspective, maybe some Jonquil Jones props, rebounding points and rebounds for her, because I think that would give her a plus matchup. They do defend the mid-range a lot, but Liberty don't shoot a lot of mid-range shots. They struggle in the paint, so I'm not sure where we're going to see points from the Sky here. Threes, no. I mean, they're 8th in offense in points per game. I would think this is an under type game, in my opinion. I'm not really sure where to go from a spread perspective. I think if we had the open number, what was the open number? Open was at 6.5. I definitely see why the line has come to 8.5, but it might be to the point where could potentially look the other way. I think defensively they match up well, so if they can limit some of the offense here from the Liberty, they can stick within 8.5. I would lean Sky 8.5 and look towards the under. What's the total? 164, 165. So it went up. It went up from 161.5 to 165. I feel like I disagree. I'm not sure the Sky are going to be able to score against the Liberty. And I think their defense, I think the offense comes down a little bit. Only reason why they would go over is to send a message for the revenge angle right there. I mean, Liberty just scored 90 and 104. I would look towards somewhat of a letdown here, in my opinion. So I would lean towards Sky 8.5 and then the under at 165. All right. So next up, we will go Storm and Mercury. So we got the Mercury. So Storm laying 7 at home. No situational notes to pop up here. Coming off of a win. They just beat the Sparks by, 19? Okay. And then we have the Storm. They just dominated Indiana. Indiana's giving up a lot of points here. So, well, actually, let's. Oh, we can't even pull it up. I wanted to see how teams do after playing Indiana. All right, let's look at some of the trend numbers here. First half, no, they kind of line up. Maybe if an over type of look. First half over. Well, how's Mercury's defense been? So they limited the Sparks. Sparks offense is not that great. Gave up 95, gave up 81. This was just a defensive game. Gave up 107. So they have the capability to give up a ton of points. So if we look at their defensive rating, 11th in defensive rating. I think this offensive rating here, if we look at recent form, I think it's going to be a lot better because they started off, so if you look at recent form, last 5 games, second in offensive rating, second in defensive rating, their offense picked up a lot just, after a few games putting the team together. So they kind of got in sync, in my opinion. Do they have team total props for 1H? That makes a lot of sense. Team total under. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have it available. But that could be something that you could see at other books. All right, so back to here. So if we look at last 5 games, Mercury really struggling on both sides of the ball. I can't see why. The Storm 7. So only reason why too much rest, maybe rest versus rust, and then they're traveling from Indiana, but they probably would have been home. Here's probably a look ahead. All right, so that might be the situation here. Potential look ahead to the Aces. Potential look ahead to the Aces here. That would be one thing. I mean, that's the only reason why I could see this only being 7. Based on how the Mercury have been playing in the Storm, I would have expected like a 9 or a 10. So this being a 7, I think it opened up at, it opened up at 7, seeing some 7.5s. Only reason why I would think that the Mercury do cover here would be a letdown spot for the Storm. But what can they do? So get to the free throw line, offensive rebounds. So second chance points here for the Mercury would be their opportunity in getting to the line. Other than that, what do we see? All right, second chance points right here. Man, I'm not sure what we can see defensively, though. Like the Storm, this might be an over type game. If there's a letdown, it would be on the defensive side of the ball for the Storm. Skylar revenge game makes sense. Everyone's saying Diggins over points. Diggins over points. All right, well, let's look at that. So their 3-point defense, corner 3, field goal percentage allowed 7-6. So middle of the pack as far as perimeter defense. They don't give a lot of. They don't allow a lot of attempts. I'm assuming it's because they allow a lot of points in the paint. So if Skylar can get into the paint, maybe that's your opportunity there. So she's probably going to get guarded by who? It wouldn't be DT, right? It would be Suggs. I think Suggs is in. Suggs should be playing, right? So who would be? Suggs is in. Copper. Who would be guarding her? Cloud? I mean, if Cloud is on her, that's going to be tough because Cloud's lengthy. The length there, man, that's going to be tough. Actually, I mean, if you look at the squad here, everyone's pretty lengthy, and that could limit Skylar and Jewel. Man, this is actually a tough matchup. Did they play yet against each other? No, they haven't. Man, as much as I love the Storm and where they're going right now, but this seems like a Mercury spot, a letdown, and also from a defensive matchup. Now that I think of it, some of these numbers might be a little bit off, because size-wise, Mercury matchup will. If anyone's gonna put up numbers for the Storm, I think it would be NECA, just because. I think it would be NECA because of the rebounding opportunities, and then also the points in the paint and the mid range. Jewel can score from mid range too. So, man, I don't know if this is a good spot for Skylar, guys. I mean, I get the revenge angle. She's gonna want to get it, but she'll need volume to do it. As far as efficiency, I think NECA has a really good opportunity for points and rebounds, in my opinion. So from a power perspective, I would say NECA. From a side and total perspective, I would say I would lean Mercury here. I would lean Mercury. Is it going to 8? We're seeing some 8s here. So DraftKings has 8. I feel like Storm would win this game, but Mercury stay close. All right, so those are my leans for the W. All right, so let me go over that again. So Connecticut. So Connecticut, I feel like they're going to dominate. I think it's either the Sun on the spread, their team total over, or the Mystics team total under. We go here. I already forgot what I said about this one. I don't even think I'm gonna bet this one, to be honest. I think it was the under. I think the under was the way I was looking at this one. The letdown spot on the Liberty side. Who they have next? Atlanta, Washington, coming off Indiana. Yeah, I think the under was the look here. Maybe even Liberty team total under. Because if Liberty, I think Liberty team total under would be the way to go here, because they went up to 8.5 and the total's at 165, right? So their number is going to be a little bit inflated. So I think, and we know Chicago's defense and pace of play is going to bring it down. I think Liberty team total under would be the stronger lean there. And then here was Mercury on the spread, and maybe a look towards NECA. All right, so that's the W there. What time is it? I got like 10 minutes to go over some of. No, I appreciate it, dude. Definitely appreciate it. Oh, you're from Kyle's Discord. All right, so yeah, definitely. If you guys have any MLB games to you guys want to look at, bring up what matchup you guys want to see, and then we can dive into it. Under 43.5 points in the first half with 3 assists. Under Liberty team total? Is that what you were looking at? MLB. Anyone got some MLB games you guys want to dive into? Twins versus Yankees. Actually, oh, cool. Yeah, I actually was looking at that right before. So Twins, Yankees. All right, so Yankees minus 180 at home. You got Gill and Ober. Gill's been dominating. So the baller rating system has the Yankees here at a +4, and it's at minus 180. And that puts it right into the threshold right there. So right where it needs to be. One thing that I was looking at here is the team bat at 3. And typically when we see a 3 at the team bat, that team usually has the edge. If I remember correctly, I think they're like 14-4 yesterday. I'm not sure if the situation won yesterday or not, but yesterday when we were looking at it with Kyle, it was 14-4 or 12-4, something like that. So this typically wins. But one thing that I was looking at, and I brought this up actually in Killer Sports. So this situational note, right? Returning home off a 9-game road trip. So I looked it up on Killer Sports, and they're actually coming off a game where they came from San Fran, right? So they're going all the way across country. I know there's a day of rest here, but I looked at that spot specifically. All right, so we look at since 2018, at least 7 games. I looked at 7 games or more on the road, and then they're a home favorite. That's what the Yankees are today, with at least a day of rest. Going from the West Pacific time zone to the Eastern time zone. That's the situation the Yankees are in today. Right here. So Gil, Ober, Yankees, 10-17 straight up, 6-21 on the run line. That says to take the run line on the Twins here, right? That's a trend that goes all the way back to 2018. Definitely not a common thing, right? Because since 2018, only 27 instances, but this is pretty telling there that the Yankees might struggle. So that this is a type of situation that the rating system doesn't take into account, right? So that's why when you have using the Money Baller site, you got to kind of put everything together, and that's why we have all these things put together. So if we go down to the starters last 5, Yankees 2-1 here. He gave up 1 earned run, pitched 8 innings, so he might be actually. It could be a situation that he won't have a fresh arm, right? Because you can see his average here is around 6 or whatever, or 6 innings or whatever it is. Then you see the 8 here, and then his average on the season right here, 5.76. And then you look at Ober, just 5 innings pitched. That's what we see typically. Coming off a nasty game where he gave up 6 earned runs against the Royals, potential bounce back spot here too. If we look from a splits perspective, actually let's look at last 30 days. So this is full season. If we look at last 30 days, Gil has been dominant, 6-0 straight up, first 5 and the full game. Opposite here for Ober and the Twins. From an over-under perspective, this is pretty interesting because you see a 5-1 to the over in the first 5, but then 4-2 to the under. That means the bullpen for the Twins must be shown out a little bit. I'm not sure why they. I don't know. I mean, 4.66 ERA. Maybe these starters are getting deep into the game. If we look at from a right-handed perspective, right, Yankees versus right-handed pitchers. Dude, look at this first 5 here for the Yankees. This might be maybe just the first 5 look here. 19-3-1 in the first 5 money line against starting right-handed pitchers. Another look here, first 5 over, and then look at this under for the full game against right-handed pitchers. 15-6-1 to the full game under, 6-1 to the under as a road dog. Man, I feel like this is a Twins run line. Twins run line look is probably where I would go with that one. Not really sure who brought that game up. What was next? I got time for one more game. So that was Twins, Yankees, Dodgers, Rockies, Marlins. Let's look at this Marlins because I wanted to. Marlins. Sorry, dude. Hey man, like you could just take the information and run with it. You don't have to do exactly what I say. All right, so Marlins versus Rays here. This right here tells me it's either a bounce back situation. This tells me like an under type game, in my opinion. And then so if you look at some of the last 5 starts, Pep, he missed some time there. I think he pitched 4 innings here and then 5 and 2/3 here. My assumption he's just trying to build back to be able to get to the 6 inning mark. So he should be, I mean, in my opinion, he should be a little bit more healthier. And you can kind of see when he was pitching earlier, he was dominating pretty well. Luzardo coming off somewhat of a bad start, right? Gave up 3 earned runs, 7 hits, and 6 innings pitched. Yeah, he's not getting a lot of run support. 0 and 1. He did here, not here, not here. Okay. So if we look at last 30-day splits, Marlins do well as home dogs, it looks like here. Not a road favorite too often here for the Rays. From a total perspective, maybe look towards the first 5 under. All right, here, let's go to the stats here. So just right off the bat, these offenses don't look strong last 30 days. Slight edge to the Rays offensively. Again, I mean, because they're striking out a lot, but they're also seeing the ball well because their walk rate is pretty high. They got the speed advantage there. I mean, as far as power goes, they're pretty even. From a pitching aspect, I think we see positive regression from Pep. A little bit of negative regression from Luzardo, but even then, I think they're still gonna. I think it's still an under type game. I think this is a Rays and under. I would look towards the Rays here and the under. I think I brought something up here. That's not the game. All right, so I think for this game, I would look towards the Rays and the under. I really like this matchup here for the Rays. I think we see a strong start from Pep. All right. I think that is about the time that I have. So let's move on to the last part. Top looks, closing comments. All right, so the only bet that I placed so far today, and I did it yesterday, like I said, was the Mystics at 11 and a half. Sorry, not the Mystics, the Sun at minus 11 and a half. We do see it at 13 now, but I do think that, let me get that out of the way. I do think that there's still a lot. I think the Sun can cover 15, to be honest, because without Shakira Austin, without Brittany Sykes, the Mystics defense struggles, their offense goes down a little bit as well. And the other ways to look in that game was the Mystics team total under, the Connecticut Sun team total over. So any way you want to look there, I can't talk you off. If we look towards the Liberty game, I think it was the Liberty team total under. I think the Sky defense shows up here, whether they win, lose, cover, or whatever. I think Liberty can. I think they could slow the Liberty down and keep them under their team total. We're looking towards the Mercury on the spread here at 7.5. I think the number is right now, and then I think it's 7.5. If we can wait, I saw an 8 earlier, 8 at DraftKings. If you can get an 8, I would definitely look towards the Mercury at 8. From a baseball perspective, I think we looked at the Yankees game, and that was a lean towards the Twins on the run line, and then the other game was Marlins Rays, and I think that was Rays money line and the full game under. Rays money line and full game under. Those would be the ways that I look there. From a top play perspective, man, I kind of want to take that Liberty team total under. I think I'm gonna take the Liberty team total under as a bet. I'll take that after the show here because it's come up. It's come up a little bit because the line has come up to 8.5, so, and the total has come up. So I think that might be in range for us to take that Liberty team total under. All right, so that's gonna be my top play for today. I broke down all the games that we looked at, and also I did it using primarily one site, right? The moneyballer.com. If you guys haven't tried it out yet, it is free until August 1st. I think August 1st is the first day we will start charging for everything. So if you feel like there is value to it, definitely try. Try it out. If you feel there's value to it, definitely sign up post August. And then also we're also making a lot of changes. So let me bring up the screen again. Share. All right, so bringing up a lot of changes. So we're continuing to develop the MLB page, but our WNBA page, we're actually redoing the whole WNBA page. All right, here is that. And I'm with you with the Yankees first five, but the Twins run line on the full game. Let's go with that. But yeah, going back to the WNBA, we're gonna redo this WNBA page. The schedule is gonna look a lot different. We're gonna bring up. I think if you guys are used to Killer Sports and Give Me the Dog, we're gonna bring up that type of look. So it's gonna have like the margin, straight up margin, ATS margin, over under margin. These pieces, this is gonna go away. Historical matchup is gonna move over. Here, the ATS over under look, it's gonna look more like the MLB, where we have like home favorite, road dog. We are gonna have more though. We're gonna have like awful loss, the revenge angle. I think we're gonna look at first leg of back to back, second leg of back to back games. We're gonna look at what was the other piece here? We're also gonna bring in team totals. So team total from a full game perspective, not a first half. And then I think that's it. I mean, most of this stuff is gonna stay the same, but we're gonna do rehaul of the WNBA page, and that means the NBA page is gonna change as well. But obviously, we're in the finals, so not a lot is gonna happen. I mean, it's not gonna affect a lot here, but you can see we have the NBA page stuff going on, and then NFL obviously is gonna come up in the next couple months. So, like I said, guys, that's the moneyballer.com. If you guys want to try it out for free till August. With that said, guys, that's the end of the show. Thanks to all who tuned in on YouTube and on Twitter. If you like what you see in here, please share the show. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And also make sure you check out the links in the description as well. The link to the moneyballer.com is on there. The link to Killer Sports, Give Me the Dog, all that stuff is on there as well. And as always, I have to end with this. Please remember, whether you fade us or follow us, it is on you guys to make that call. Good luck with all your action. Till next time, peace.